Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the Super Self podcast series brought to you by Jaca Rare Sugar. As we've discussed, this is our safe space with regard to health and well-being. Everything from some of the pitfalls and challenges that you may face on your quest to better health to some of the great benefits that you'll receive, as well as everybody that's in your orbit when you do find that pathway and begin to live that beautiful, healthy life. Today, we will focus on the snake oil supplement scandal scams. It is nothing but a $150 billion industry of propaganda and misinformation. If you look at where the supplement industry has come from, and we're going to discuss that today, from the powders to the shakes to the celebrity endorsements, it has literally exploded in the marketplace over time. It's now a $150 billion industry with a CAGR, a compound annual growth rate of almost 9%. This industry is not going away soon. And it's really interesting to me because the entire space seems to be predicated upon buzzwords and sexy packaging. Clinically proven. There's a lot of gray area there. Find your sexy body with these beautiful models on these packages, enticing you to aspire to be like them. It's nothing but misinformation that they're putting forth. And we're going to talk about that in detail today. And I'd like to start with the celebrity endorsement component of some of these drinks. It seems like every celebrity on the planet today has got some type of drink that they're pushing. And it used to be that you could trust the celebrity if he was pushing the product. Back in my day, back in the olden days, if Dr. Marcus Welby, MD from TV, pushed your product, there was a safe bet that he wasn't a sellout and that you actually could find some credibility in what he was saying, and he would evaluate the product before he would advocate it. Not today. Everything's about money. They're all sellouts. Nobody cares what it's doing to you. They just want to make some cash. The case in point is The Rock. The Rock is probably the biggest sellout out of them all. I used to be a big fan of his back in the day when he was early on in the movies like The Game Plan, but then he completely sold out. And right around that time also, he went on the gas. That guy's got more gas in him than a freaking tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. He is so steroided out as he's professing this life of good health and well-being and live this healthy attitude like The Rock. It's all a crock of shit. And it's really easy to spot once you know what to look for. You've heard me say in other podcasts that I came up in the gym in the 90s. And back then, steroid use was prevalent. And it wasn't as sophisticated. It wasn't as scientifically based or synthetic as it is today. They did Rhesus monkey hormones. They did, so it was Dianabol, there was Anavar, there was Winstrol. There wasn't a lot to choose from. Nowadays, you've got plenty to choose from. When I was coming up in the gym, especially in Atlanta in the 90s, with a lot of sponsored bodybuilders, you could see what massive amounts of HGH was doing to their body. And I guarantee you, it's HGH that The Rock is doing to the nth level. And here's how you know. Human growth hormone makes you grow, right? And when you do it in excessive quantities, you grow more. That's the whole fundamental premise behind it. But what people don't understand is that HGH makes everything grow, not just muscles. It makes intestines grow. It makes bones grow. And you can see this as the person who was using it heavily evolves. If you go back to The Rock back in the day, when he was probably doing a safer cocktail of steroids or lesser amounts, he didn't have that distended stomach, right? Now, he's still got abs, but his intestines have grown with all the HGH. So now his abs poke way out here. His stomach is all distended out here. As well, his skull is bigger than it's ever been before. The skull doesn't just grow like that. We had a guy in the gym in the 90s, and he was doing a ton of HGH. And not only over time did we see his intestines grow and really, really protrude. He's having such an adverse reaction, but he wouldn't stop. His forehead, the bone in his forehead, that part of his skull, started growing also. And he had a protruding forehead that came out like this over time as he continued to use HGH on a significant level. And so it's super easy to spot that The Rock's not clean. Therefore, by extension, why would he ever be a proponent of anything that's clean? He doesn't care about himself. Why would he care about you who he's never met? Okay, let's talk about Zoa. That's the drink that The Rock is pushing. First of all, it's sweetened with sucralose. You've heard me talk about sucralose in our first podcast, Beware the False Prophets. Sucralose was downgraded because of its propensity to cause leukemia, from caution to avoid. There are studies out there that are significant now that show how dangerous sucralose can be, breaking apart DNA, potentially causing leukemia. Sucralose is one of the most dangerous sweeteners on the planet today, and that's one of the primary ingredients in his healthy drink. So another thing that he's got concocted in there, which is almost worse, ACE K. If you look up ACE K, there's a longer word, technical word for it, but ACE K has also been proven to potentially cause cancer. There's a study done as far back as the 1970s. There's another study done in 2017 that found that it caused inflammation in the gut, gastric distress. It may break the blood-brain barrier, which means it causes cognitive problems. It's an absolute no-no for people that are pregnant. I mean, you're looking at two primary ingredients in that drink before you even get into the L-carnitine or the amino acids or vitamin C, whatever else he has in there, who cares? You've got two well-known carcinogens in there where you've got the potential to have massive gastric distress, and pregnant women shouldn't get anywhere near it. I mean, who in the world would espouse that product? The Rock. Shame on him. But who also would drink that product? There's got to be a better way. And it's really simple. Drink some orange juice. If you want vitamins, drink some cranberry juice. Drink some apple juice. Pure juice. Not these other juices out there that have also been fortified with all of this dangerous toxins, but just pure organic juice. We've been eating like that since the dawn of time, and I don't know how we've gotten away from it the way we have in this country, just more and more deviating from the original plan, which was stay healthy, eat healthy, pick it off the vine, and live on. So, you've got to really be looking at some of the ingredients in these drinks, just ingredients that you don't even understand what they are. You can't even pronounce them. And Zoa is a big case in point. You look at J-Lo, she's another sellout, right? She was advocating an alcoholic beverage and she doesn't even drink. Well, she was behind Body Armor Light, and Body Armor Light's sweetener is erythritol. Again, back to Beware the False Prophets podcast number 1. Erythritol has been known to cause heart attack and strokes. It may cause fertility problems, causes IBS or gastric distress. These are sweeteners, these are ingredients that you don't want anywhere near your body. And if you look at the entire energy drink, health drink subsegment of the industry on the whole, none of these things are good for you. They've got sodium benzoate in there, potassium sorbate in there. These are ingredients that have been proven to be unhealthy. They are preservatives that will corrode your insides. And that's why you've got these poor young kids who are dying from drinking this stuff. There's many class action lawsuits out there against Bang, against 5-Hour Energy, against Red Bull. People are dying from drinking these supposedly healthy energy drinks, not just because of the sweeteners that are not good for you, but because of the additives, the preservatives, the other things in there that are tailored to give you a high or give you a rush. It doesn't do you any good to drink a 2-ounce bottle drink that gives you the equivalent of 5 cups of coffee, 300 to 500 milligrams of caffeine. That can't be good for you, especially if you're drinking multiple 2-ounce bottles per day. We've got to go back to listening to our gut. Here we are on episode 3, and I've said this through episode 1 and episode 2. We've got to listen to our gut. If you read the label on any of these drinks, Zoa, Body Armor Light, 5-Hour Energy, Red Bull, Bang, and then do a Google search and see the deaths and the lawsuits that stem from the ingestion of some of these drinks, your gut will tell you to run, not walk away from these drinks. It's that simple. And so the key becomes, once we create that awareness amongst ourselves and we understand that this is not the way, now we have to find a healthy alternative. And listen, brought to you by Jaca Rare Sugar. We've got a 2-ounce bottle drink called the Jaca Jolt that is healthy. It's liquid Jaca with vitamin B6 and B12. It helps you control energy, helps you control appetite, gives you a boost of energy. 1 cup of coffee, 60 milligrams of caffeine. 1 cup of coffee, you can drink as much as you want. We do have that product, but I'm not pushing that. I'm telling you to go drink a glass of juice. Get you some organic cranberry juice. Super good for flushing out the system and removing the toxins. And that's the path to proceed when we're trying to find that better quality of life. It's going to make us run more efficiently. That's going to give us the longevity we want. It's really a very simple formula. Well, again, once you recognize what's happening throughout the propaganda placements in this market today with a lot of these drinks and supplements. Let's shift gears now to supplements and powders. This is really the crux of the industry with the sexy packaging and the great looking jack dudes with the 6-pack and the sexy girl in the bikini on the package that makes you want to buy it because we want to look like them. But what we've got to realize behind the scenes is that since this has been measured over the course of the past 10 years in this industry, there's been 8 times the instances of liver failure across people who are using these supplements and powders over time. These supplements and powders are said to be attributable to 20% of the liver toxicity cases that are being reported today. Think about that. That's because people are drinking multiple shakes per day with these powders, and they're doing multiple instances of ingestion per day with these different supplements. So it's hitting your body and it's resting in your body, which we'll talk about. And that is literally taxing your liver to the extent that there is toxicity and failure. This is, for me, incredibly, incredibly serious because it's very easy to get in the pattern of drinking your shakes. It's very easy to get in the pattern of doing your supplements. On some level, it's very psychologically rewarded because you're accomplishing something. I'm going to drink my pre-workout, then I'm going to go work out. I'm going to drink my after-workout because I just worked out. It's something with regard to the steps that are very psychologically satisfying. However, we've got to think about what's happening inside our body. And it doesn't matter that these packages say clinically proven on them because it's an incredible gray area when this industry is not regulated by the FDA. The FDA doesn't have any control here. So there's a lot of free reign with regard to what people say and the claims that they're making on the packaging. So clinically proven could mean that they fed the supplements to 2 rats over the period of 2 days. That's how they define their clinical trial, But we gave it to 2 rats over 2 days and neither of them died. Clinically proven. It sounds like I'm being overdramatic and oversimplifying, but I'm not. And that's why we go back to 8 times the reported cases of liver failure and 20% more cases of liver toxicity. This is not a regulated industry where they're slamming together all of these nutrients that don't belong together. You've got thousands of percentages per day of the recommended daily allowance of these different vitamins and minerals and amino acids. Thousands of percentage points in some instances. This confuses your body. They are slammed together artificially. Your body doesn't know what to do with 200% of magnesium recommended daily allowance against 300% of vitamin C recommended daily allowance against 400% of this and 500% of that. Your body does not know how to break down that concentration of mineral or vitamin, so it confuses and rejects it completely. What ends up happening is it gets in the way of your metabolism breaking down all of the other foods that you're eating, the regular foods, the healthy foods. It's so busy trying to figure out what the hell is going on over here that it is distracted for all intents and purposes from helping you metabolize the food that you are eating properly and healthily. That is so. And what's more is you've got these different vitamins and minerals that may be included in the same concoction, but they clash. Some of them have detrimental effects when they are mixed together. And so you've got to wonder, and this goes again back to podcast number 1, is the solution worse than the problem? I think it is. These are chemical concoctions that have been synthesized in order to make money. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. I've never done shakes in my life, whey protein, none of that crap. If I want nutrition, I'll eat a carrot, and we'll talk about that. But I was introduced to a buddy of mine. A buddy of mine introduced me to a guy who was an Australian rugby player. This guy looked like a statue. He looked like a statue. He was about 6'4", 240, everything you would expect in an Australian football player, an absolute monster. And we got to talking, obviously, we're sitting at the pool and I'm pretty fit. And he's talking to me about his problem area. And he's like, Pete, man, he goes, I eat clean. I'm in the gym every day. I'm training on the field every day. This guy trained 10x to what I ever trained in my whole life. It's just complete beast when it came to training because he's a football player. He's like, I can't get rid of the last handles over there, the love handles. I can't get rid of it no matter what I do. I said, okay, let's talk about it. What do you eat? If you remember, going back to, let me see, that's either podcast 1 or 2 or both, 70% of the equation in health and well-being is nutrition, diet. What do you eat? Good, clean biofuel in, positive energy out, bad poison in, bad poison garbage out. What do you eat? He goes, okay, well, I'll tell you what I eat. I start out the morning by eating my steel oatmeal. Survey says 0 points. Eating that kind of oatmeal in the morning is the worst possible thing you can do. It is so hard for your body to break down those kinds of carbohydrates. It takes all damn day. It's trying to do it. Meanwhile, you've had lunch and dinner also. You are starting the day by clogging up your system with these massively overwhelming carbohydrates that your body needs to metabolize for energy. Don't put a strain on it like that. Eat some fruit. Eat some fruit. Eat some egg whites. Eat some protein. You don't need to eat a gigantic bowl of oatmeal, because what happens is when your body can't metabolize that bowl of oatmeal with efficiency, it stores it as fat. So you eat a big bowl of oatmeal and then you can't burn through it, and then you eat lunch and dinner, you're going to store that as fat. That goes back to what that last place that he couldn't resolve. So I'm still listening, right? Then what do? Well, then I go get ready to go to the gym and I have a shake. I'm like, okay, here we go. Here we go. I go, okay, then what? Oh, now I have my lunch and he does his prepping. He has some boiled chicken. All of his food intake was as clean as hell, except for the breakfast. Clean fishes, clean meats, vegetables, fruits. Everything was clean that he was doing. Proper caloric intake. The only thing he was doing that was askew was steel oatmeal in the morning and 3 shakes a day. I said, bro, it's the shakes. He's like, no, Pete, it's whey protein and it's got these vitamins and minerals in it. It's great for you. I'm like, no. It's not about what's in it. It's about what it's doing to your system. You don't realize it, but you're retaining 7 pounds of water at your size to 10 pounds of water at your size, because those shakes are clogging up your system. Your body cannot metabolize it. It confuses the hell out of it. It doesn't know what to do with it. So you're not efficiently metabolizing all the other stuff you're eating as well. He's like, oh, well, I don't know. You're hemming it on. I've been doing it for years. I said, okay, do me a favor. Give me 2 weeks. Stop eating oatmeal in the morning and stop doing the shakes for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. It's going to take about a week to 10 days because you're so clogged up. You're not going to notice anything. And you're going to feel a lull because you're used to having whatever that shake is doing to you, because it's calories and calories are energy. You're going to feel a little bit of lull or a dip maybe, because now all those calories are all of a sudden gone. Give me a week to 10 days. What's going to happen is about 10 days later, you're going to pee every 5 minutes for 24 hours. Every 5 minutes for 24 hours, you're going to pee. All that water you've been retaining because of these shakes, you're going to expel it once your body can finally get a grip on itself once again. You're going to lose the weight. You're going to wake up the next morning after you do that, and these will have fallen off. It actually works like that. If you can get past that last day when you're going to quit, that last day when enough is enough and you're going to break, if you can get through that final day when you've had it, the next morning you get up and you get a huge reward. Shit just falls off for you. He's like, okay, I'll try it. He called me back about 11 days later, 12 days later. He said, Pete, he called me a prophet. He said, Pete, he sounded so cool with his Australian accent too. He goes, Pete, you're a prophet. He said nothing happened for about a week. Nothing. And then I peed every 5 minutes for 24 hours. And the next morning I woke up, they were gone. I said, see? That's real world practical example of what is going on with this market as a whole. I challenge you to do the same thing. You want energy in the way of a drink? Drink a glass of juice, as I've described. Drink some water. Water's still the best. Don't drink Gatorade. Forget about the sodium and all that crap in the Gatorade. That confuses your body and your metabolism also. Drink water. Drink more water. Watch what happens. Give it some time. Let your body recalibrate itself. Figure out what it's doing with itself once again, and then see what happens. You will absolutely love it. I had an experience of my own. I've never done any of that stuff in my life because I'm not an advocate of it. I got caught. I'll tell you when I got caught. I was 30 years old. I was living in California. I'd gone out there to build a division, Silicon Valley base of operations for a tech company we were building. So I was out there on my own. It was powerlifting. So you know what, creatine, I was 30. Boy, this is almost 30 years ago. So almost 30 years ago, creatine came on the scene and it was all the rage. Everybody's like, creatine. And I know there's new studies out today about creatine. I haven't looked into it yet because I've already got my trauma, so I don't want any part of it. Everybody's doing creatine. I said, let me try it. It's supposed to be all the rage. I did creatine, whatever it was, one shake a day. I did it for 4 days. I gained 10 pounds in water. I gained 10 pounds in 4 days, and it took me 8 weeks to lose it. I couldn't lose it. My body was so confused and so messed up from artificially ingesting this substance that it destroyed me for almost 2 months. That's it. That was the only time I ever even dipped my toe into anything like that, and I never will again. If I want something healthy, I'll eat a bucket of celery or a bowl of carrots. You can eat 10 pounds of carrots based upon the lack of fat, the nutritional value, and the calories, and get way fuller than you ever would on a dumb shake. But you will get way more out of it from a health standpoint than you would ever get from any of these supplements. Eat a bowl of carrots, eat a bunch of celery, eat a bunch of peppers, cut up some peppers, mushrooms, cut them up, put some fat-free Italian salad dressing on there. Fat-free, it's got a little bit of sugar in it, but not enough to have, you're going to burn through that type of sugar in a salad dressing. Fat-free, not oil-based, because then you're taking in all that fat, 14 grams of fat per tablespoon in oil. We don't want that. Fat-free Italian dressing and a bowl of carrots or mushrooms or peppers or all the above. Watch what happens. Do that 3 times a day for a week. Watch how you feel. Watch what happens. Watch your moods. Watch how you perform. Watch how you sleep. Watch how you treat everybody in your atmosphere, going back to episode 2, which is the mind-body-soul connection, and watch how they treat you back. Try it. Well, you got a week. Experiment with it. It can't hurt. It's going to be something that you will find was out there all along. You just wish you knew it. It's one of those things that's so ridiculously simple and obvious, it has to be true. The food is there, and the food is clean. We just have to keep it clean as we're ingesting it and using it in our mind-body-soul continuum. And that's really what this is all about. If you go back to the mind-body-soul continuum, in a situation in America where poison is ever present. It's in everything we eat. It's in everything we drink. It's in almost everything we breathe, if you believe some of the conspiracy theories. We have got to find a better way. Listen to our guts. Think about what makes sense. Read nutrition labels. Do one Google search of research to find out what's out there about any particular ingredient or any particular additive, and do what makes sense. What's going to end up happening is, number one, you're going to save money. I mean, what do people spend $200-300 a month on this supplement crap in these drinks because some wannabe movie stars is espousing it, or because some sexy bikini model on the picture, on the wrapping paper, on the label, and we want to look like them? You tend to spend $200-300 a month on this crap. You're going to save a fortune if you just buy carrots and celery and peppers and blueberries. Blueberries are incredible for you. Blueberries and strawberries and things like that. But you're also going to get back in touch with the roots of our beginnings, right? We're picking this stuff off trees to sustain ourselves. You're going to find that your body just feels better. You may not even be able to explain it. You will just generally feel better, almost like the color around you, not to get too hippie, but the color around you will feel like it's changed. If you give it a minute, give it a week, give it 2 weeks, depending upon your particular situation and your body type. If you're a bigger person, I'm a little guy. Stuff tends to hit me quicker. If you're a bigger person, it may take closer to 2 weeks. Or a little person like me, it may take closer to 2 weeks. But give it some time and see what happens. Give it a chance. Do you expel all of that water that you didn't even know you were holding? Do you sleep better? Because didn't even realize it, but you've always had a borderline headache in the back of your neck because 3 of the ingredients in that supplement powder you've been eating clash with each other completely and are prone to give you headaches in the back of your head. It's really going to be funny to see. Everyone will have their own story about how this impacts them because everybody's different. But the fact remains, if we can just see through the bullshit and find our center and listen to our gut, that health and well-being that we talk about is going to just find us. It's going to befall us. And when it befalls us in that positive light, in that positive manner, everybody benefits around us. And when everybody's benefiting around us, they're projecting it right back at us. That mirror effect that we talked about with the laws of attraction in episode 2. Whatever you're giving out, it's going to be projected right back at you from the people around you. So it's not hard. It just requires a little bit of awareness and I think a little bit of fun with the research, because now we've got all this data at our fingertips. You can literally read clinical trials for any of the stuff I've referenced today, double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled human trials, and read for yourself in an actual trial what happened here, and then make a decision for yourself. So I think that's really the message for today is don't believe the bullshit, and let's do some research, and let's figure out what's out there and find a cleaner way. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for episode number 4. Thanks so much. Okay, everyone. That brings to a close another episode of the Super Self podcast series brought to you by Jaca Rare Sugar. Here, we're going to be helping you discover the truth for all things that surround good health and well-being. We'll be offering you statistical data, clinical trial information that has been evaluated and corroborated so that you can see for yourself that we say what we mean and we mean what we say. Now, while the Super Self series is brought to you technically by Jaca Rare Sugar, I don't care if you buy the sugar. I really don't. That's not what this is about. This is about operating as the conscience across the food and beverage industry, across the health and well-being industry, which includes supplements, fitness trainers, and the like. Our goal is to provide you with the stepping stones for your own research, where you can go out and corroborate the things that we say on your own. See for yourself what it means to find a good quality of life that fits in alongside your current lifestyle or your family's lifestyle. I think it's really going to be interesting and fascinating if we take this journey together. And once again, our goal is not just to provide you with data, but to keep it interesting. I've been living a clean lifestyle for 40 years now. I've been going to the gym for almost 45 years, eating clean for 40 years. And so we're going to have a ton of stories along the way about the foibles, the successes, and the failures, but we're also going to provide you with the information that you need to carry on and carry forward. Think about subscribing. We'd love it if you subscribe to us, pass this on to your friends. I think we've got a lot of edgy and interesting podcasts that are upcoming, and we certainly will look forward to any feedback that you want to provide. Until next time, cheers.